Good morning, students. Students, today in this class we're going to start our physics second chapter, forces and laws of motion. Students, if we imagine and observe, as the science used to suggest us, we're going to experience that any body, whether matter or antimatter, is in some kind of motion. Even you have studied in your previous classes and experienced that the planets are revolving around the sun is revolving around the galaxies, the satellites are revolving around the planets, the motion of the wind, the flowing of the water in the rivers, the movement of current in the wires, and even the motion of the vehicles on the street. So, any kind of motion, it might be an artificial body motion or a natural body motion, is governed by certain laws. And these laws are under the control of the nature. So that means that nature is controlling the motion of the sun, the wind, the water, and the planets. So everything is controlled by the nature as the scientists used to recommend us and suggest us. So, but the nature is also under the control of a supreme personality, supreme being, as the scriptures used to suggest us, like Bhagavad Gita. In it, it is mentioned that Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suite Sa Characharam. That means the Lord is saying that this material nature is under my control, and even the nature is under His control. So we can understand that any kind of motion is controlled by a higher authority in some way or the other. So now the term force arises. Why we are saying this term force? Okay, so let us understand this. See, students, this child has a soul, the small baby has a soul, and the soul is transmigrating from baby to boy, boy to youthhood. In this way, it's continuously transmigrating. And it is a superior energy. And the superior energy comes in contact with the inferior energy. That means the child gets attracted towards the toys, the boy gets attracted towards the books, the student gets attracted towards the books or the friends or the games. Similarly, in the youth age, the person gets attracted towards cars or towards various other luxurious things. So in this way, the attraction, this superior energy is coming in contact with inferior energy in some way or the other. So there is some kind of attraction between the superior energy and an inferior energy. That means the child is getting attracted towards toys, milk, mother. This boy is getting attracted towards books, games, and various sports. So in this way, when the superior energy comes in contact with the inferior energy, there is a certain kind of attraction between a superior energy and an inferior energy. So in this way, what happens? This attraction force, this attraction is a kind of force which we say as force. So the attraction between a superior energy and an inferior energy is termed as force. Even the Newton also has proposed the theory of the Newton's law of gravitation, in which he has said that any body in this universe attracts every other body with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the distance of square of the distance between them. So in this way, we can understand that whenever a superior energy will come in contact with an inferior energy, there is some kind of attraction between a superior and inferior energy. So in this way, this attraction is a force. So force is a vector quantity, and any action which is being compelled by that attraction is force. So students, now this force is governing any kind of motion. So how it is governing the motion? So force is a hidden thing which can't be seen. It can be seen only felt by the actions it produces. So in this manner, the force produces acceleration. How is produced acceleration? Now you can understand this. This child or the baby or the boy is attracted towards a particular matter. It may be book, toy, or a milk, or his mother. So immediately the child or the boy or the baby will start moving towards it. So in this manner, we can understand that when there is attraction, there is force, and when there is force, there is acceleration. Immediately a person starts moving. In this way, that is why we are transmigrating the body from one body to another, because of our attraction to a different material or the matter things or the concrete things in this material world. So in this way, students, there is a law which has been proposed by the Newton, which was the first law, which I'm going to present in front of you and explain a bit about it in this introductory video. So in the first law, Newton says that any body will be in rest or of uniform motion until and unless an external force is being applied. Similarly, students, when we were a child, we were not able to act properly. So we need a higher or a superior energy to act properly, and a higher energy can only uplift us and raise our consciousness. And immediately when a consciousness is raised from a lower level to a higher level, we start moving towards a higher level and surpass all the layers and reach to a higher place where everything is perfect for us, and even we become perfect and reach a particular higher level. So in this way you can understand these two figures. In the first figure, the person is pulling this child upwards. That means this pull can uplift someone, and this is the force. So force can uplift any ignorant, any fallen soul to a higher level. So might be a saint or a teacher or your parents can uplift you to a higher level. It is because of a force, and where force is a kind of a pull. So this hand is applying a pull on this particular small child's hand. So in this way, even this rope is pulling this child upwards, and even the child is pushing the small blocks of rock downward and lifting up oneself upward. So this is a brief explanation of the introductory part of the force and laws of motion. Now let's understand, the students, what are the contents and the chapter's objectives, what we are going to study in this chapter. So students, first thing we are going to study in this chapter is force and its representation. How we are going to represent the force, even the Galileo's concept of motion on which the Newton's first law is based. Then we are going to study about inertia and mass, Newton's second law, which I told you that force is directly proportional to acceleration. In this manner, even the momentum, the direction of the force and direction of motion, its unit which is Newton, as the Newtons gave three laws of motion, and the Newton's third law, and also finally we are going to study the law of conservation of momentum. So the students, in this figure you can see this is a Jagannath Rath which the devotees are constantly pulling towards the streets. So students, actually this Jagannath Rath has a various significance in the entire world, in the entire universe, I should say, because it propagates the message of universalism, impartiality, and universal equality. So it is believed that in the Orissa, that even in the whole world, that when the Lord himself comes in the street to elevate the sufferings of his devotees, to give them peace and pleasure, the Lord himself comes to the devotees to purify them, even to give them peace and love towards him. So in this way, students, we can understand that what is a force. So you can see force can't be seen. Can you see the force in this figure? No, we can't see the force, but we can feel it. We can see that the devotees are constantly pulling it towards the streets. In this way, any action, it may be kind of the motion of this rath. This rath is moving towards the street because of the force, which may be a push or a pull. Any body like this Jagannath Rath comes in motion. It is because of the love and devotion of the devotees. They're constantly pulling this rath towards the street and making this festival a great success. So this procession is totally meant to sow the seeds of love and devotion to a higher personality, to a higher level, and even to give the pleasure to the devotees. So in this way, students, we learned that force should be a certain kind of particular pull or a push, or we should be pushed and devoted, or we should be attracted towards a particular higher goals. Then only the force will be successful, and the force definition we will learn properly, that it is a push or a pull on our body towards a higher thing. So this is force. So we can understand this in this way, the force and laws of motion. So force is a pull or a push which produces any action on any body, by which there are various effects being produced. Like you can see, the shape of the mold can be changed, a body at rest can be made into motion, we can change the direction of any body with the help of force. So these are the certain effects which we are going to study further on this chapter, force and laws of motion, students. So please watch it attentively and make some appropriate points and note down some important points and good words which I have explained in this video, and please comment it and please watch it attentively and Thank you students very much.